Hello, and welcome to episode 44 of the Roll Jump Media podcast. I am joined once again by my co hosts, Jose and Luis. What's up, guys? It's been a minute. How's it going?
Hello, good morning, guys. It's been well. I know this is it's been a while, but it's good to be back.
Always.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Glad to be back.
All right. So, between the last one and this one, there's been a lot that's been popping off, or I'd say a decent amount, but we're going to be focusing on a few things today. We're going to be focusing on Resident Evil Village and Mass Effect Legendary Edition reviews. We're going to be talking about digital E3, just talking about the details so you guys know what's popping on that front. And we're going to be talking about Nintendo's 2019 Nintendo Switch exclusives retrospective, where we look at Nintendo's exclusive games from 2019 and see if it was hot or not. But before we get into all of that, let's go ahead and check into our draft. So I know that Village did release, and I don't think we did a podcast covering how that affected the spread. So let's go ahead and check that out right now. Okay, I switched the screen over. All right, so for me, I've had two games released so far. I had an 86 for Hitman 3 and an 83 for Near Replicant. That gives me 29 points. Jose had Little Nightmares 2, Returnal, and Bravely Default 2 release, and he had an 83, 86, and 78 for those respectively, 36 points. And then Luis has had Monster Hunter Rise, Cyber Shadow, and Resident Evil Village release, and they've had an 88, 82, and 84 respectively, giving him a total of 44 points. How are you guys feeling about this one, dude?
It's rigged. Hey, you gotta know what to pick.
Dude, you picked some bangers, man. Freaking crazy.
We
Well,
still have.
I'm looking at my choices. I think I went for the new games, like the indies or like Returnal, 12 Minutes,
Mm-hmm.
Solar Ash. Um, those aren't franchises that are established, so it's always like a risk. With Returnal, I think it paid off. That really did help me. It really boosted my score.
Mm-hmm.
Bravely Default 2, I think that's what affected me.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I mean, it's still a good score, but damn. um, Gotham Knights, it's not releasing this year, so I do have to change that one.
Right.
But I'm just waiting for E3 and see
Mm-hmm.
what
Mm-hmm.
what else is coming up, um, and then make my choice based on that. But yeah, I mean, I still have confidence. I'm still in the game. Uh, Breath of the Wild 2, I still don't know what to think of that. I'm not sure if it's gonna come out this year. Um, so I don't know. I might have to change that one down the line. But so
Right.
far, I'm still a little confident. I'm still confident with my choices.
Yeah, I would be too, man. I feel like if Horizon and Zelda come out, you're gonna be a
Yeah,
contender for
those
sure.
are those are insurance.
Insurance. Yeah. All right, Luis. How you feeling about your new game that got a new score, Resident Evil Village? Is that what you expected?
Yeah, I'm really happy with my list actually, and I'm looking at the games that are coming up, and and I think I'm gonna win this. So why try, yeah, guys? I just kidding.
Chill.
No, but hey, we have Kenna coming up. Well, I have Kenna. Kenna's coming up. Um, the Neo, The World Ends with You is coming up. Um, well, those two are like the ones that I'm looking forward to seeing how they do.
Hmm.
I'm more confident on Kenna, just because like what we've seen from the trailers. I think it's gonna be a pretty good a game with a pretty good score. Um, but yeah, I mean, Resident Evil Village. When I picked it, I was I was well hoping, right, hoping I would get like a high 80s, or like an
Mm-hmm.
80s.
Yeah.
Um, and then once the reviews started coming in, I noticed that some people were saying that it was um, more action uh, focused, and I saw some people on Twitter, some like reviews saying that it was kind of boring, uh, and it wasn't that scary. That's I started worrying then. I started getting like worried about the scores. But I was like, okay, we'll see how they do. I thought it was gonna get like a high 70s, but I was pleasantly surprised to see that it got an 80, 80 something, 84.
Yeah.
Um, it wasn't a Monster Hunter Rise score, which got an 88, but it's pretty good. And I think as long as the games get 80s, I think it's somewhat it's somewhat it's good, right? It's good for the score. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy with the games that I picked, and I want to see how the others do. I don't know if Hollow Knight. It's they already confirmed it's not gonna be on E3.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're gonna see it this year, or this summer, or who knows. God of War. I don't know if we're gonna see that. Halo Infinite. I don't know if we're gonna see that. We might. I feel like we might see it at E3 maybe,
Yeah.
and maybe get an update on that. Um, hopefully, but you know, I don't know. I don't know if we will see it. But same thing, like I said, I'm waiting for E3 to see if I make any changes um, going forward.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm in the same boat too. There's nothing really to draft right now or to replace, so
Hmm.
it's really wise to wait. Um, for my list, I'm still confident in my list as well. Let's see. I think that Ruined King is gonna get high 80s. I think people are just not too focused on that one, but I think it's gonna do well for me. Monster Hunter Stories 2. If it gets a 80 or like a
Hmm.
81, 82, I'll be happy with that one. Sifu is also kind of like it's up in the air. So I have a few that are up in the air.
Right,
It's like I'm taking a bet on, but I think I can hang in there, especially once I find a replacement for Gran Turismo.
right,
Yeah,
right. Ratchet and Clank though. Shoot.
dude, Ratchet and Clank might
I
be the
think
highest
it's
scored.
yeah, that might be the highest scored one.
Yeah.
It's the one I'm worried about. I mean, hopefully
Sweat.
it gets a good score. Like
Yeah.
not trying to, but yeah,
Hmm.
it looks great. That game looks great.
Dude, imagine if Shin Megami Tensei 5 just gets like a 95 or something like that. That'd be crazy.
That's possible too.
Yeah. People are just after the Persona craze, Everybody's just like into it.
Hmm.
It'd be crazy. Yeah, and upcoming ones, Ratchet and Clank's coming up, as well as Guilty Gear Strive. So once those pop off, I'm gonna have a boost to my score, hopefully, most likely. And then
Hmm.
I didn't know that Axiom Verge 2 was estimated to be spring 2021. I don't know if that's true. I haven't heard anything
Action
from
Burst
that.
2?
Yeah, aren't we like almost
Mm,
in summer almost? It's crazy.
yeah, and
Yeah,
we haven't really heard anything.
yeah. So we have some pretty exciting stuff coming up. Um, E3's coming up, so these lists are gonna change for sure. So Very good, very good. I don't know about yours though.
Exciting.
Yeah, exciting. You might keep yours. I don't know. Maybe you might get rid of Halo or something.
Yeah, and yeah, that's basically what I'm waiting for.
Hmm.
Like Ragnarok and Halo Infinite to see when they're coming up.
Yeah,
So I might keep mine. Although I gotta choose another counter pick because Gotham
right.
Knights is
It's not coming out.
it's not coming out. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So no changes to this week.
Nope. Nope.
All right, all right. Well, that's gonna do it
Alrighty.
for what happened.
Oh no no. No.
Okay. So that's gonna do it for our check-in for the draft. Now we can move on to what we've been playing. So, without further ado, Luis, let's hear what you've been doing on them joysticks, my boy.
Them joysticks. Okay, so uh, same thing. I've been playing on three systems here and there. For my 2DS, I've been playing still Detective Pikachu. um, the I've done I have there's been progress in my playthrough. Um, uh, like I mentioned before, that game it's kind of it drags a little. I think there's like a lot of filler in a way, like things that I don't think matter to the story, but I still need to complete. And there's like a lot there's a lot of dialogue, which is not bad, but uh, sometimes it's really unnecessary.
Mm.
But I put in some minutes here and there. I think in total there's like 9 chapters in the story, and I'm on chapter 7, so I'm getting there. Um, I wanted to play some of it yesterday, but kind of fell asleep. but um, but yeah, I mean, and hopefully I'll be able to finish it soon because I have a lot of games to play on my 2DS that I want to play,
Hmm.
and so that's what I've been playing on my 2DS. On my PS5. Well, no, I'll get to that later.
Okay.
um, so the Switch I've been playing. I'm still playing Monster Hunter, yeah, here and there.
Yeah.
Whenever I have time, like at night, I go on Monster Hunter. I haven't finished like the story. Um, I think
Hmm.
the last I actually played some two, not yesterday, but the day before, 2 days ago.
Hmm.
I was able to do the rampage with Ibushi. Uh, I don't know if you remember it, but it's like
Yeah.
the Elder Dragon. Um,
Hmm. Yeah. Got you.
so I was able to do that, and I
How?
was able to defeat him, dude.
Yo, how
um,
was it?
so this that was the second try. I had tried it like the day before that, or no, like 2 days before uh, that, and I tried doing it, and I was destroyed.
Word?
My Yeah, the gate was destroyed, and honestly, I think it was more because I wasn't able to manage my weapons, like my defense and and auto
Yeah.
weapons.
Yeah.
Um, like I really messed up on that, and
Hmm.
so I put Monster Hunter Rise down for a few days. Then like 2 days later, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. And yeah, I did it. I was able to do it. It was a little way easier, once you get the hang of like, okay, I'm gonna put this here and do this here, and um, so I was able to do it. So I'm still there. I don't think the story is over yet. I think there's more coming up.
If I recall, yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
mhm. So I'm still doing um, rank six. What are they called? Rank six
Um,
missions or hunts.
is it the village or
The
hub?
No, it's the hub.
Okay, okay.
Hmm. So I'm still gonna do that. And yeah, I mean, it's just fun playing Monster Hunter. I
Hmm.
haven't gotten tired of it. I
Dude,
like going in and
good.
yeah, I'm actually surprised that I'm really enjoying this game, honestly. So thank you, Ray, for getting me into Monster Hunter. Shout out.
Nice. Yo,
um,
yo.
mhm,
We haven't hunted in a while, dude. If we can this weekend,
yeah,
bro, that'd be sick.
yeah, we should.
Yeah,
I'll be down.
cool.
I don't know. It's just it's fun, just to get in and hunt. So that's what I've been doing on the Switch. For now, Jose is gonna talk a little bit more about what he's been playing on the Switch. That's his main playing system. So I
Yeah,
gotta step away a little bit. Um, but yeah, same for Switch. I want to play other games as well uh, that I haven't been able to play. But
really?
now on to PS5. Yeah, yeah,
Is there
yeah. I
games?
have a few
There
games.
there's games on the Switch to play?
Yeah. Well, older games. Games
Okay,
that
okay,
we
for sure.
haven't been able to play. Like the Xenoblade. Remember we told you we got
Oh,
Xenoblade Chronicles
mhm.
too.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, I would like to play that.
Definitely.
And Snap, but Jose's gonna talk about that one.
Oh, I forgot. I got it. I
Um,
just did Snap. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Be ready.
Okay.
You're gonna get wrecked.
You gonna
Um,
get it. All right.
on to PS5, on Sony side. That's where I've been uh, gaming more on lately. But yeah, I've been playing Apex here and there as well. It's one of those games where sometimes I just go in and you know get in a few games. But the main game that I was playing the last few weeks has been Resident Evil Village, and we talked a little bit about that. But um,
All right.
and I don't know if you want to get into it right
Yeah.
now, or you want me to get into it right now,
It
or we
depends.
can wait a little bit. Hmm
I've
I'll,
pretty. Oh, go ahead. What were you gonna do?
mhm. I was gonna say I can talk about it like after we talked about what we've been playing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hmm
Yeah, because I want to get into the
Uh,
nitty gritty. I want the spoilers and everything. I don't know if Luis Jose is okay
yeah,
with
no,
that.
dang. Are you okay with that, Jose?
Here's Jose. What happened?
Jose?
He's sharpening his knife to get me for the
I
Pokemon
think.
Snap.
Oh, sorry, sorry. No, no. It's because I was having issues, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, I don't mind. I mean, I think they already spoiled it for me. And I asked for spoilers. I didn't mind. I didn't mind. So, so
All
yeah,
right.
I don't mind.
All
Cool.
right, I'll talk about that afterwards then. But yeah, I've been playing Resident Evil Village. Um, I'll just give you guys a tease. I don't know. I really I love that game. Like it's really good,
Mm.
and I'll talk about it.
All right. Cool.
But mhm, but yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. On my PS5, it's either Apex and it was Resident Evil Village for like 2 weeks. Um, just exploring the area, and but yeah, that's pretty much it. And I've been going in and playing the Spider-Man DLCs as well, like really here and there.
Hmm.
It hasn't been my main focus, but I do plan on playing. I do plan on completing the Spider-Man Remastered DLC. So that's what I've been that's what I've been doing on my PS5. But yeah, that concludes my gaming
That
this
concludes
past few weeks.
that concludes your TED Talk.
Yes, that's my TED Talk. Thank you for coming.
All right. So I guess I'll move on to what I've been playing. For me, it's pretty short. I've pretty much just been playing one game. That's Pokemon Snap, the game Ray dissed. Just kidding. Um, I don't know. I've been enjoying that game. I already passed like the main storyline, quote unquote. I guess if you want to call it a storyline. um, and I don't know. It's been fun. It's actually like it makes you want to go back and play it again. Well, not replay it, but revisit the places that you've already visited. Just because there's like a lot of quests um, that ask you to uh, like capture a Pokemon in a certain situation or during a certain pose. And to do that, you have to trigger that event or um, that moment. Um, and so it's been fun going back and trying to find those. Um, I set a goal for myself to not Google the things.
Uh,
I want to be able to like do it by myself or discover it by myself. But there's some really tough ones in there. Um, but yeah, I mean it's such a fun game. I mean I love Pokemon Snap, the original for 64. Um, and I don't know. I think it really does keep that essence of the original. And that's something that was like a big concern, just because it's been I think 20 plus years, or I'm not really sure,
hmm
since the first Pokemon Snap. So I mean that's a long time, and they could have like easily destroyed or ruined the game. But no, they did a really good job, and I've been enjoying that a lot. But yeah, that's been pretty much it. I am planning on going. I purchased Hades, um, and that's a game that I do want to play. And obviously, like Luis mentioned, there's other games like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 that I want to be able to enjoy as well. And for the PS5, there's a ton of games that I am interested in playing, but I don't know if I'll ever get to them. Just because Luis is playing, and then um, our younger brother is playing, so they're already having to juggle their time, taking turns playing.
Mm.
So I don't know where I'll be able to fit in and get some playtime for myself, but hopefully down the line, who knows? We shall see. But
Okay.
yeah, that's been pretty much it for me.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Um, I was listening to Kind of Funny talk about Pokemon Snap, and they were pretty high on it. The one of the people on there, Tim Geddes, he had some qualms with it. I don't remember what they were, but do you have any like issues that you're running into with Pokemon Snap that was preventing you from fully enjoying it, or
Mm,
not really?
not that I can think of the top of my head.
No.
No, not really.
Okay. That's yeah. Maybe he was just a little bit more picky than the the average. Not calling you average,
Maybe.
but yeah. Uh,
um, I don't know. I mean, I guess. Um, no, I don't know. I don't know. I can't
yeah.
think of any right now. But obviously, if like people were to point things out, you'd be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you're right." And I mean, I'm sure it does have its flaws. It's just I don't know. I haven't really thought about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Now
You
I'm
just
curious to see what
mhm.
what he said.
Yeah.
But uh, but yeah, I've been enjoying it overall.
Nice, nice, dude. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm glad it because you're really looking forward to that when you wanted to
Yeah.
have that experience again.
Um, yeah. Well, I guess the one thing I would say is maybe like the main quest, the main storyline. Um, I guess it's not as um, I don't know. I feel like it ends very abruptly, but I don't know. It's a photography game. I mean, there's not really much you can do.
hmm
Um, it does improve a lot upon the original one. The original one doesn't really have a storyline or a, a goal in mind. This one does, and there's like lore that they have to explore, and um, there's definitely like a plot or a goal that they're setting out to do, like they're researching.
hmm
Um, and yeah, I guess at the end it's kind of abrupt. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's not something that I put a lot of uh, thought into,
Right.
just because when I first played Pokemon Snap, there was no storyline, so it's not something that I was expecting, you know.
Hmm.
So, like from my point of view, that storyline that we got in New Pokemon Snap was just a bonus. Um,
Hmm.
that's how I saw it.
Got you.
But that's the only thing I can think of.
All right. Good. 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 Is it my turn? I think it is.
Yes, it is.
All right.
Take it
So,
away.
cool. 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 So for me, I guess I'll talk about three things. I guess the first one's not really much of a. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about it. So, Apex Legends. This game, this game is just finds a way to have me play it pretty much every day. Um, I don't know if you played a lot of arenas, Luis, but my arenas experience is really like polar opposites. Like I'll get a team where we like demoralize the other team, I guess, and they just like start quitting, and then it'll happen to me on the flip side. And
Hmm.
there's never like a like I guess having a game where everybody just stays 3v3 until the the game's over is not as
Hmm.
common as you would think. And I think it hampers the
Right.
experience. It happens to the experience. Like I
Me-
embrace whenever
Yeah.
it's like 2v3, but like it's still, you can't deny that it's a hindrance to how the game's supposed to be played. I don't Yeah, you were gonna say something?
Yeah. That's basically, yeah, like my experience. I think I've only tried it like that once when I remember I talked to you about it,
Yeah.
where it's like the team I was in, one of them left and it was just me and another person. And then I think like for the second game, the other person stopped moving as well. So it was just me and I would like die really quickly. Um, so that kind of like, being the first few times that I played that, it was kind of like, oh, well, I don't know if I want to try this. And from what I've seen as well, like when Marcos plays, um, a younger brother,
Hmm.
him, same thing happens to him sometimes. Like he will be playing, and then one of the teammates leaves, or same thing like for the other team. It's rarely that I see a team where it's like 3v3, so I think, but and that's just like for me, right? But I haven't really tried it again. Uh, Maybe I should, just to give it another go, see how it plays. But yeah, I mean, and I'm sure maybe uh, Respawn is gonna um, improve upon this mode, make some, uh, I don't know, maybe make like incentives for people to stay in the game or something, because it kind of sucks when your teammates leave.
Yeah. Um, I would think something like they did do in League of Legends, where if you queue up for something and then you're in the game, like choosing your champions or whatever, and then you just like bounce, like you exit out of that instance, they'll give you a time penalty before you can queue up again. So
Hmm.
I think something like that would be the best,
Would help.
would
Hmm.
help, yeah. But yeah, but other than that, Apex is, you know, what I've been saying before. Played it for so long, still experimenting with weapons, trying to find the loadouts that I like to take into battle. And the arenas have been a really good change of pace to the battle royale, because you can just go in, hop in for a shorter amount of time, and um, just focus on the fighting rather than having to have the best gear or whatever to stand a chance against some other team. So Apex is fun.
Right.
Let's see. I did finish Other M. I don't know, was it like 2 weeks ago, something like that? Um, Once I started getting the feel to play it, I just kind of like didn't stop. I just kept going until I reached the end. And there
Hmm.
was actually a I'm gonna just say spoilers just in case somebody wants to go back and play other M. So spoiler warning. If you want to skip it, if you're watching it after the fact, we'll have like timestamps so you can check back in. But yeah, there was like an extra mission at the end of other M that I didn't end up doing, and doing that one was actually a really good cherry on top to what you get in the base game. So I'm glad that I was able to do that. Um, oh yeah, well you guys might play other M2, huh? I'll tread lightly.
Hmm.
I'll tread
Yeah.
lightly. Yeah, I'll tread lightly. Um, let's see what else. I guess overall for the game, as I said before, the gameplay is really good. It's really nice. Uh, I would put it at I think it stands with the other games as something that's just as enjoyable, but just in a different way. Of course, there's like little tweaks they can do to make it to make it a bit better, but I think they nailed their format that they were going for. It's just that the environments, dude, the environments are the worst part of the game, uh, because they're just like they're really bland. Like um, the setting does have a role to play. Like because the game takes place in this certain setting, is going to lend itself to being a little bit more stale than other Metroid games. But for I don't know, it's just like you guys remember how Wii graphics used to look, and if a game kind of tried to go for a more realistic-y looking like environments and things like that, it'll look kind of like washed out and not detailed to what you would expect. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
This game like is like the epitome of that. It's just everything's just like muddy, washed out. The grass looks just like splotches of color, and like you don't get you don't get that sensation at all in the like prime games. The prime games are older, like much older than that game, and they just pop. You want to just like not just rush through areas. You're just actually taking it in, like, oh wow, I'm in this biome. This is how the creatures
Right.
function here and all that good stuff. But here you're just kind of like running really fast through areas and just progressing basically. And I think that's the biggest hindrance of other M is that they focus. Well, I guess it's Koei Tecmo. Koei Tecmo is known for making like action games, things like that.
Hmm.
So they just kind of like I guess lost what that core tenet of what a Metroid game should be. And I think that's what really deep down I think that's what a lot of people were feeling was missing for that for other M. But other than that, I think that other M's a good game still. It's worth a playthrough. Just it's how long did it take me? I don't remember my final playtime. I think it was around 10 hours, just like how it was originally. A little bit more because I did the additional stuff towards the end, but
The bonus.
10
yeah.
hours?
Yeah.
That's pretty short. Hmm.
hmm But yeah, that's Metroid Other M. If you want to play it, like definitely play it. I know Nintendo probably won't port it or whatever, so it's might be stuck in for the Wii on the Wii for like years and years. But yeah, wanted to bring some attention to that. And I know Luis, you got Federation Force, right? Is that one of the ones that you want to eventually play on your 2DS?
Yeah, it's definitely one of just to see what sort of like coming from like a because that game got a lot of hate, right? Because it was like a Metro Prime game, but no Samus, and after years and years of no Metro game, we got that. Um, and I used to hear, heard here and there from people who played it that say that it's a bad Metroid game, uh, but it's a good game. That it's a perfectly fine game,
Mm,
but obviously it's not something that people were expecting from the Metroid franchise, and I get that. So I kind of want to give it a try and see how it plays, and see if I like it. Yeah, but of course, I completely understand the backlash it got because I mean, yeah, it's kind of it was a little tone deaf from Nintendo to release that back in the day. Um, but yeah, that's one of the games that I'm planning on playing.
All right, sick, sick, sick. And oh, there's one more I forgot. Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess,
Mhm.
dog. That first dungeon is that's a really good dungeon, man. I feel like that dungeon is not so big and overwhelming to where you like I went back to it after like taking a break for like a month or maybe even longer, and
Mhm.
like I think it was just well crafted enough to where if you just do it all in one shot, like it's still challenging, but even if you come back, you don't feel totally lost. You kind of like even if you don't have the compass yet or whatever, you can still, you know, maneuver around and not feel like you're just like wandering, trying to figure it out with like with your like a chicken without his head or whatever. So
Mhm.
and then the sword sheath still amazing. Every time I talk about it, I'm gonna every time I talk about Twilight Princess, I gotta mention that.
Gotta mention it.
Yeah,
Shout out.
yeah. So Twilight Princess hopefully it comes to the Switch. People need to play.
It's coming. I feel it. I don't.
Man.
Just kidding.
All right. And I get the big thing that I want to talk about, dude. We're almost 40 minutes in this podcast.
Damn.
The final thing that I want to talk about is, can y'all guess?
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect, baby. Yeah, Mass Effect. Dude, Mass Effect. Oh man, there's something. This game does something special to me, man. I don't know what it is. Something just triggers in my brain. Whatever they concocted over at BioWare for Mass Effect. I'm just playing the first one still, and like I played the first one. I'm sure multiple times, like significantly through or not all the if not all the way through. And bro, like I got to a point where I had to make like a decision in the game, and like that was like 2 days ago, and I'm like right here, just like thinking about it still. Be like, should I freaking reload my save and then do something? I don't know, dude. Like, yo, like they went ham skis on the Mass Effect series, man. Like you could tell that when they were working on this, they really loved what they were working on, and they wanted to deliver something special. And um, I think it just has to do it has to do with a lot of things, but in this game, you guys know I like action. You guys know I like freaking um, flips and parries and all that crazy stuff.
Mhm.
But this game doesn't have a lot of that, dude. Especially the first one. It's like almost the opposite. It's almost the opposite, which is crazy. Which I think it talks to what they do so well in storytelling and developing your bond to the world and the characters. Like, it helps that the game also has a really good opening. Like, it doesn't like it establishes you as a character in this world. You have a background. You have status in this new like this new frontier that humanity is has been going on. That there's aliens now, and then they have to deal with their relations to the aliens. They have to adapt their technology in order to keep up with everybody else who's going like faster than light travel, and everybody has ships, everybody has different cultures, and they have to like adapt to that new world that they're in. So I guess that's one facet, and there's also another facet of just how they just present you exploring the world. Just like there's a place. I'm gonna keep it pretty like vague, so people can be pretty fresh when they hop in. But there's like a hub where um, you hang out in. or you can spend a lot of time in. Like I think I spent like 5 hours just like chilling in the
In the
hub
hub.
and
Hmm.
and just like figuring out what to do, just talking to people, all that good stuff. And you have your squad with you. You can choose who you bring. Like towards the beginning, like you don't have much of a choice. You have who you have, but then eventually you'll have more squad members to fit into your three-person squad, you and two others. And um, I wouldn't say the environment is super dense, but I think it's dense where it has to be, and it's open to where and it's open in places where you can just like let your imagination run wild. So like for example, how it usually goes is that you're with your three-person squad, and you're just like jogging or walking through different areas, and then you just like come across an NPC that it's highlighted for you to interact with, and then
Hmm.
it's either gonna be a mission, or it's just going to be like it's going to be somewhere where you can just something where you can interact with, and then it'll tell you lore or like how things work in the area that you're in. So
Hmm.
what's interesting about that is that it's not just like basic like you have different choices. So it's not on one side you're going to have choices that progress the interaction, and on the other side there's investigations or investigate, where you can to choose a topic, and then that person will elaborate on the situation that they're in, or whatever the case may be. And it's up to the player to do investigations. And I think that option there is it gives the player a lot of control over how deep you wanna you wanna dive
Get
into
into it.
this. Yeah, dive into all the extra stuff, because you can either just like, I don't need to know more about this or whatever. I know I get the gist of it. I don't want to know more. I'll just keep progressing the dialogue. Or you can be like me, that exhaust every single investigation dialogue just to have
Yeah.
all the lore tidbits and all the freaking background, and then I'll progress. So um, so Mass Effect, it doesn't require you to be totally invested. You can just take it how you want. But yeah, man. I have a lot of
This.
thoughts
Yeah.
swimming in my head. I didn't even talk about the combat
Yeah.
yet.
And this is just the first game, right? You said.
First game. hmm And I guess I'll touch on the combat really fast. Combat,
Hmm.
how it works is you have a weapon wheel and you have an ability wheel, and you'll have different classes to choose from. I never really choose engineer, so I chose engineer, and what that focuses on is breaking down enemy shields, um, deploying like you can also deploy. It's called the what is it called? A neural shock, where it'll disable like an organic being for a little while, so that you can get shots in and you can get damage. Because I'm playing on insanity, because I'm an insane person, I guess, and all that stuff, all that stuff matters. So I'm having fun doing that. Um, I'll know. No, I'm not gonna say the tip. I'm not gonna say the tip. I need people. People need to learn. You'll
Hmm.
learn. You'll learn when you play. So and then you kind of depend on your other teammates to do what you lack. So if you don't have, I'm just gonna use the term space magic. They call it something else. Biotics. I can just say biotics. And what that'll help have you do, like if you don't have it, it can throw enemies. So you can throw enemies. You can lift them up in the air. That makes them vulnerable. You can debuff them with a thing called warp, and it'll make them take more damage. It's different things you can do with different characters. And then the weapons. What's good about this one is that you can pretty much use all the weapons in your arsenal. Before, like in the original Mass Effect, um, the reticle, like if you weren't proficient, or if you chose a class that wasn't proficient in a gun, the reticle would be so wide that you might as well just not use that gun, because your hits would almost never land. But
Hmm.
in this one, you can use any weapon, and it'll be less effective maybe if you're not proficient in it, but at least it's usable. Like you can get a really good one and still be effective, which is nice. I think I'm gonna stop talking about Mass Effect for now. We have other things to talk about, and then you still have to talk about Village. So
Hmm.
yeah, are you guys? Well, my freaking on and on about Mass Effect. How do you feel about the game right now?
Um, I mean, ever since you first started talking about it, years ago, it's been a game that I kind of want to try. Uh, Especially like the first one. I think from what I've heard here and there, the first one is regarded as like the best one. Maybe the second one. But it's definitely a franchise that I kind of want to get into, and uh, I want to play. Like I would like to play it one day,
Yeah.
uh, which I can now. It's what the collection. Um,
Hmm.
so it's interesting, and like you said, I think it's like you were saying right now. We're used to hearing you talk about like a lot of games and like regarding combat and action and
Hmm.
movement and things like that. And I think Mass Effect, uh, there's more from what I've heard you talk about right now. There's like a lot of dialogue, but it's dialogue that regardless, who you talk to, it's always gonna help you out, right? If like you said, it's either like missions or even like investigations about what's going on in the world and
Yeah.
lore and things like that. So, um, I mean, I think it's like the perfect way to go whenever creating like NPCs and things like that. Every conversation you have with a character, it's always gonna help you, right? And, and I mean, you said that it's up to you. You want to do those, but I mean, who wouldn't? Why are you playing
Yeah.
this game? You don't want to get into it. Nice.
I get
um,
that.
but but I mean, like you said, it's the freedom. But yeah, it's a game that I've always been interested in ever since you started talking about it,
Right.
and I
Right.
kind of want to see it for myself.
Yeah. I'd 100% recommend it.
Same.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, yeah, no, and,
Yeah.
well, I think I've mentioned this before, but yeah, because Mass Effect is it like decision based? Like, do you make decisions as you go
Yes. Yeah.
or choices? Yeah,
And
right.
they're
And
spaced pretty
I
well.
don't know. I've always liked those games. Yeah, I
Oh,
like those
really?
type of games. Yeah, and I mean that's one of the aspects that I liked about Three Houses. Just it gives you the option to choose how to answer or what to answer. Um,
Hmm.
and and I don't know. That's always been an aspect that I've been very interested in video games. And I mean, Mass Effect looks like a very interesting game as well. And from what you've told us about it, you're always gushing about it, so it must be a really solid game. So yeah, I definitely want to play it in the future.
Awesome. All right, Luis, I think it's your turn to gush about your game.
All right, so Detective Pikachu. It's
Should we
um,
put spoiler warning?
yeah. I mean, I'll try not to get into a lot of spoiler, but
Okay,
just a warning, I guess. Spoiler warning.
cool.
Um, I'm gonna be talking about Village and what I like about it, so I might say some things that might be spoiled.
All right.
So, listeners out there, you've been warned.
To avoid spoilers, refer to the timestamps in the description.
Um, yeah. So, Village. Just really quickly, I don't think I talked about how I felt about Resident Evil 7 back when I finished it, and or maybe if I did, I didn't really went into it. But just really quickly about that game, I went into it, expecting like a different experience. Obviously, first person, it's a first person Resident Evil uh, in the franchise. So
Hmm.
going into it, I was like, oh well, maybe this is gonna be a different experience. Uh, we have been getting Resident Evil games that were a lot of were very action based or action heavy, like RE4, 5, and 6. So when I played Resident Evil 7, it was back to the roots of like the scary environments and you know the suspense, the mystery, things like that. And I really enjoyed that aspect of it. And once I finished the game, I realized that I really liked Resident Evil 7. It might be one of my favorites
Mm.
because it did things really well with like the whole scare factor and the characters as well. The new characters that we got to meet in that game. So honestly, I did uh, I really enjoyed that game. It's probably my top favorite games, Resident Evil games. So coming into Resident Evil Village, I was waiting for this game. I remember hearing like the rumors that there was going to be werewolves and witches and vampires and all these things. And knowing Resident Evil, I knew it was going to be okay. It's probably going to be science related, right, or like a virus or something like that. Um, so I wasn't really too worried about that. Um, but it was kind of like okay, it was a drastic change from where it was in Resident Evil 7 to where it was going to. Um, and then we saw the first look, and the first trailers about the game, and honestly, it got me personally it got me a little bit more excited because I do like all this environments like the castles and the mythical creatures like Dracula, vampires, and all these things. So I was excited for it. Um, and I had already made up my mind that I was gonna play it. And then the game came out. I started playing it. I had already heard some reviews or seen some reviews. People were mixed on it. Uh, from the people that I follow on Twitter, obviously, and some people thought it was uh, kind of boring. I saw a couple of people were saying that it got boring really fast. A lot of people said that they loved the game, that it was one of the best ones, and that they really uh, they encourage people to play it. I was gonna play it either way, but it was interesting to see that. Um, so I went in, I played the game, um, and right away I think the first I want to say maybe a couple hours, and there was a lot of like scary stuff in it.
Mm.
Well, the first I want to say 40 minutes of the game. You come into this world, um, you're going into this village. It's dark, and you hear noises around you, like running and wolves like growling and things like that. And you see blood on the floor. Again, it's dark when you come into this village, and obviously the scare factor is there, right? You come into the village, you go into the houses, they're dark, you hear creaking, and the sound in this game it's really good too, and it's scary. So it was a more of Resident Evil 7 from what I remember.
Hmm.
And then you meet the characters, right? You meet Lady D, Lady Dimitrescu, um, and spoilers, the other three lords. So there's four lords, and then there's Lady Miranda, the main villain,
Hmm.
the one that's under control of the village. And that's one thing that I really liked about this game, the characters. When I first saw these characters, we hadn't seen them before, like in trailers or anything like that. We'd only seen Lady D.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, it was really. I was kind of like shocked. Well, we'd seen Heisenberg too, so we met two
Mm.
of them. Uh, I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting there to be more characters. I think one of the things that a lot of people thought that was the Lady D was going to be a bigger villain. Um, and honestly, that's against. I don't know. I don't want to spoil it, but
Okay.
she
Up to you.
she's not like the main main character.
Right.
It's her and then three others. Her, Eisenberg, and then the others, Beneviento and Moreau. And then there's a little bit more action. And that's when you start seeing more action. You have to like escape or run away from them, and then you go into the village, which is the thing about the village. It's I think it's like the hub. Well, it's not the hub. It's a little bit like a hub, that it's like the center of all these other places. So this is where you meet, uh, the Duke. You meet the old lady, and then you meet other characters as well that uh, kind of they pretty much well die, I guess. um, and and then you start going, you start getting keys to unlock certain areas of the village. Then you go to the castle to go see Lady D. After that, you go to the windmills to go see Moreau, or to this house or this cave over there to see Beneviento or Donna Beneviento, and then um, the the factory where you go see Heisenberg. So there's four areas, and then you keep coming back to the village to again to go to unlock certain areas from the other uh, uh, to unlock areas where you weren't able to go to before, and then upgrade your weapons with the Duke, sell treasure. That's another thing that came back from Resident Evil 4, and let me just say, I think this is definitely very or heavily influenced by Resident Evil 4. It's a little more action based as well, or maybe a lot more action based, and then you can upgrade your weapons, something that you could do back then. There's a merchant where you can buy upgrades and um, ammo and weapons. And then if you kill monsters or you kill enemies, you get treasure from them, or or coins. I think they call them a lei in this
Hmm.
this game. So it's very very Resident Evil 4, which is considered one of the best Resident Evil games. Um, I really enjoyed that game as well, because I think it found a perfect balance between like action and horror, which I think I see it in this game.
Mm.
There's a certain part in this game in Village, basically the second area that you explore, which is House Beneviento. I don't know if you've heard about it, Ray, or if you've seen videos about it.
Dude, I'm
It's
wide open for
really, really,
spoilers.
it's
Oh,
really,
sorry.
it's like the scariest thing. Um, and I think in Resident Evil
Really?
history. Um, yeah, it's because it's very psychological horror in this area, and basically because it's one of the lords. It's Donna Beneviento. She what she can do is she makes you hallucinate. So in this area, you come in. There's dolls everywhere, and then you come in, and you're trying to collect a certain thing that you need to get your daughter back. Um, as you know, as Ethan. Uh, and then the lights flicker, and then you come back to this house, and you don't have any weapons, you don't have any ammo. It's just you, right, in this house. um and the game starts playing with you like psychologically. There's a hallway, and you have to walk through it, and you see things. You start seeing like visions of your wife Mia. And it's basically like a huge puzzle. There's things that you have to get to be able to unlock a door, and that leads you to something that you have to get to unlock some. You have to get to unlock another area of this house.
Hmm.
But through as you progress, things start getting weirder, like and stranger. Um, and then there comes a point where you have to go down like a well. You go into this area, and it's dark, it's pitch black. You only have your light, and you come in, and you start hearing this uh, like it's well, you see this what's it called, like uh where babies sleep. I'm blanking. um where do babies sleep, like these things that you rock?
The crib?
Yeah, crib. Dang, like I don't know why I'm like you start listen, you start hearing this crib, and uh, uh, you can see it as well, and it's right next to like this well, and you go down this well, and down this well there's just this like a mannequin that's all broken up, and there's a key, and it's basically the key that you need to be able to unlock the fuse box, so you can put in a fuse and be able to leave this place, uh, to be able to turn on the elevator and leave this place. But as soon as you get this key, you start going up the well, and then there's this huge noise. The something breaks, and then you start hearing this baby cry. Um, eh, and again, it's pitch black. It's really unsettling. You go up the well, and then you see the crib, and it's all broken. And then you go out this place, and then you go to back to the area that you come from, and it's dark now, which it wasn't before. And then there's this like red light, and then you get closer, and there's this there's a lot of blood on the floor, and there's like this umbilical cord going from one room to like down the hallway, and it's all bloodied, and you can still like I don't know, it's very unsettling,
Mm.
because you don't expect it, you don't expect to see that, and again you don't have any weapons, you don't have anything, you can you can't shoot it down or anything, you can shoot anything down, so you have to follow this cord, and then once you get to the end of the cord, uh, you start hearing something like it's coming, and it's like crawling or something, and then you start like it starts crying. It's like this baby. It's a baby crying, but it's very like distorted, and it's like and again it's very dark. So at first you don't see it. You only see like you only hear the crawling and the creaking and the like a baby crying and doing these noises. And then once you actually get close to it, or once you're actually able to see it, you see it's like this deformed kind of baby thing, um, that's crawling towards you. So you have to run back, and there's places where you can hide. But I don't know. Like I remember, I was playing this part like around 2, 3 in the morning,
Okay.
and it was very unsettling. It was very dark.
Jeez.
I had to pause it like 3 times um, you know, to relax because I don't know.
Wow.
It was very unsettling. It was very um, and yeah, I mean, it was a lot. I saw a lot of people say it was very PT, and I definitely see a lot of that there. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting to see that like in a Resident Evil game, but it makes sense, right? Because of like the whole, it's this person playing with your mind, um, and I think that's one of the most memorable parts of the game. That's why I went a lot into it, but one of my favorite parts as well.
Mm,
Uh,
okay.
but yeah, that part. Um, but yeah, and I'll go quickly. I know I'm talking a lot about this, but uh, let's see. But yeah, like I think talking about like the combat, it's very similar to Resident Evil 7. You know, it's first person. You shoot enemies. And I think there's way more enemies in this game. Um, you know, you have the lichens, which are like the werewolf enemies, and then you have other like flying enemies, and much later you get like this sort of like zombie uh, the enemies, and you basically sometimes you get like a lot of enemies coming at you, so you just shoot and you blow up their heads, and it's very action heavy, like again like Resident Evil 4. So you do have to upgrade your weapons. There's a lot of that, which I really like as well. I like messing with my weapons and sort of like getting upgrades for it and
Mhm.
being able to shoot faster and reload faster. Um, so yeah, like I mentioned, like after that house, like the psychological horror. After that, like very few times I got scared, or I was very, or there was like a lot of horror. After that, it was very, very, very action heavy, and you know, even like when you defend yourself in the first game, for example. I mean, in Resident Evil 7, when you sort of defend yourself with your hand to get less damage, you can still do that here in the village. But there's also after you defend yourself, there's a command you can press like L1 to push them back. So there's like sort of like a counter.
Yeah.
If you defend yourself from an enemy, you can push them back and then shoot them and, and do this. There's more to that as well. Um, but yeah, like after that point of the game, it was less horror and more um, action and more story as well. And then the story, I really liked it as well. And then you get to the lore as well. You start seeing, especially like later on in the game, and there comes a point where you play as Chris. Spoiler. Um, and then he goes into the village, and you start seeing like, this sections you can read, or little pieces of paper and photos, and that's where you start getting more of the lore of how this is related to Umbrella and the rest of the story. Um, so basically, you learn that this is it's sort of like an origin, um, or like the things that you're seeing in this game, the lords and the symbol of Umbrella. That's what influenced Spencer, who was the creator of Umbrella, to create Umbrella. He was influenced by Lady Miranda, who was working with this mold to sort of work on his own goals of changing the world and creating a virus,
Hmm.
which we see in the first game. Um, and then he created Umbrella, uh, and he sort of got the symbol from the symbol they saw in this cave. So he was sort of like a student for Lady Miranda, who has been immortal as well because she has the the mold or the parasite thing. Um, so that was really cool to see that connection,
Yeah.
especially coming from Chris, who we've seen in previous games. Um, but it would have been cooler to see more of that and actually see maybe characters from past games and not just like a piece of paper. But I mean, it's still cool, nonetheless. I remember like being like mind blown when I saw that. Um, and then you fight Lady Miranda as Ethan, and then after you defeat her, you sort of get like um, what's it called, the like scenes, right? Uh, and and you start seeing maybe where the franchise is headed. Um, uh, you get to see the Ethan's daughter grown up, and you know, and then at the end, you just see like these words that say the father's story is now done, or the
Hmm.
father's story is now finished. So you can assume that uh, we're probably gonna see more of Rose going forward, and maybe see her story. Um, I'm thinking maybe it's like a trilogy for like Ethan's or the Winters story, but we'll see. We'll see what they do for RE9. And but yeah, I mean, uh, when I was finished playing it, honestly, I liked it when I first saw it, when I first finished it, uh, and I think now, after a few weeks already, after I passed it, uh, honestly, I think it's one of my favorite Resident Evil games. I think I enjoyed it even more than RE7, uh,
Wow.
just because of it has a lot of similarities to RE4. I think there's enough horror to it to to legitimately be scared of certain things. Uh, and I don't know. By the end of the story, I think I grew attached to like Ethan and all these characters, and like the design of like the worlds, the environments. I really love. And I don't know. I was. And I've heard it from like a lot of people. That after they finished it, they couldn't stop thinking about it, and they wanted to play more of it. I got the same feeling as well when I first finished it. I was like debating, should I go back and maybe play it again and like in hard mode. Um, uh, and I still haven't, but maybe sometime in the future, like I would definitely want to try it again, because it's really cool. And and yeah, trying to get all the treasures I think that's the thing as well. Like it's not too hard to to understand, where you have to go, and also it encourages like a lot of exploration as well of this village and this world. So I don't know, it's really cool. I really liked it. I remember when I finished playing it, I kept asking my younger brother or Marcos, uh, like when he was gonna play it, because I was excited to to see him play it, like to see what he thought.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, like it was a treat, like playing this game, and I was like mind blown, to see like the connections to the other games, to see like the characters that I wasn't expecting to see the sections that I wasn't expecting to see, like that freaking psychological baby thing. um, and I don't know, it's I think it's a fantastic game, and I encourage people to play it.
Yo, I wasn't
Maybe that's
expecting.
what you should play, Jose.
Yeah, he's selling it like I'm selling Mass Effect. Look at this man. I forgot what I was gonna
What were
say
you gonna say?
before that. I forgot. It's okay. I don't think it was that important
You
anyway.
you weren't expecting something.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you to have such a high endorsement of this game. I wasn't expecting that.
Hmm. And I don't I know, like either like for me as well, like I wasn't expecting it to like I was expecting to enjoy it, but to like actually say, oh, I love this game, like it's like I wasn't expecting either, and I
Yeah.
was pleasantly surprised, and I'm glad I got this game, because I was debating as well if I should get it like day one, um, but I'm glad I got it, and I'm glad I was able to play it, and like
Yeah.
it's a really cool game.
I do have some follow-up notions for you.
Hmm.
So, did you play it on hardcore or normal?
I played it on the standard,
Standard?
that's something that I was actually seeing the like the easy allies discussion.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that.
Uh, yeah, with Huber and Ben, um, and it was interesting because I think like the standard, I think it's a perfectly fine style of playing.
Hmm.
Uh, but I did think some of the points that they brought up, like in survival horror, you're supposed to um, sort of like be careful with the ammo that you have and make the right choices and how you're gonna deal with certain things. And I sort of like agree with that,
Hmm.
and it made me think like um, maybe I should have played a hardcore mode, which from what I've heard from people, it's not that like that, there's fewer ammo, and you do have to take into consideration how much ammo you're gonna spend and how you're gonna deal with certain things. Um, so I was thinking maybe I should have played in hardcore mode. But it's not something that bothers me, because it did help me sort of take this world in, and
Hmm.
not have to worry about like dying, and like being able to focus on like the story and things like that. Um,
Got it.
but I do agree that from what I played, it was it was a little on the easier side, um, because because in the game you get like mines, you get pipe bombs, and then you get like all this ammo. And yeah, by the end of the game, I had a lot of leftover ammo and things like that. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, and sorry, I didn't even know. Like I don't know you were gonna ask that question or.
Oh no, that got to the crux of it. I just wanted to add that I didn't mention it earlier what I've been playing, but Resident Evil 2 remake.
Mhm.
I was playing that before Mass Effect came out and took over. But yeah, the I'm playing that on hardcore. Have you played it? I'm sure you played it, right? RE2 remake
Yeah, RE2 remake. I played it. I played it as well, like a normal.
on
I
normal.
don't play on hardcore. Mhm.
Dog, hardcore. I think that it just makes the whole game tense. Like it's supposed like you're in
Yeah.
a freaking zombie apocalypse
Mhm.
and like constantly, dude. When I'm on my hardcore, it just depends if you want that, but constantly I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm effed, I'm effed, I'm effed, I'm effed. I don't have enough ammo. I'm effed, I'm effed. But you just like get out by the nick of your teeth.
you're right.
So yeah, I lean more towards the hardcore side, but I can see
Right.
the appeal of
Yeah,
just taking it in.
right. And yeah, I mean, I think it does fit that feel of Resident Evil. You know, like you're in this world where there's enemies and they're gonna kill you.
Hmm.
So yeah, maybe that's probably like the way to play it. You want to feel that, survivor or survival, um, of the apocalypse, especially for like two, the one you're playing right now.
Yeah,
Are you playing that in hardcore? Like, aren't
hardcore,
that game like? Aren't you like scared or like? Have you gotten scared with the game?
dude. I got it. There's one jump scare that I remember. I forget where it was, but yeah, I get scared sometimes. I don't do well with horror, just not yet. So sometimes I do turn down the
Yeah.
volume a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, but I
Hmm.
think I'm gonna get scared. But I've gotten scared a couple times, I'm sure, if not a few times. Like I actually like jump like have you seen me? Do you see me when we went through that maze in Universal?
Oh yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, yeah. I
Like
was there.
I don't know if you saw my scream there, but it's just like that, but just like internalized, so I don't scream, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, it's scary. It's scary for me.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. RE2 is like pretty scary. But yeah, I think it's a great game as well. Top Resident Evil games.
top. How's the combat? Like I've seen people do the combat, and it looks like the enemies kind of like die sort of in the same way, at least the same enemy types. It was kind of like
Hmm.
unappealing. I don't know. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's a thing, like while you play, or you just don't notice. It doesn't matter.
Uh, you mean like what do you mean by like how they die? Like they have the same animation?
Yeah, like I don't know. Yeah, yeah, basically. I don't know if you get like a different one for a headshot or whatever, but they kind of just like look like they have the
Yeah.
same. Like the lichens, I think they are.
Yeah. Hmm. Pretty much. Uh, I saw when my younger brother was playing. He threw like a pipe bomb to some like a horde of like lichens,
Yeah.
and then it exploded and they all died. And it's literally the same animation. Like all of them, they did the same animation. They were like went down and it's like oh, it was kind of like weird. But yeah, I mean,
It's a
it
nitpick.
doesn't. It's not like a big deal. At least for me, like it didn't really bother me.
Oh, okay, good.
Um, but yeah, I mean, there's not like it again. It's very similar to RE7. Um, um, I don't think in that side. I don't think I saw like a lot of changes
Oh, okay.
or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, good, man. I'm glad you enjoyed your investment into RE Village. That's what that's what we want when we buy games. We want it to
Yes.
us want it to be amazing. All right, so we're almost an hour 20 into the podcast, and we still haven't gotten out of what we've been playing.
Oof.
So let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we'll have enough time for not the retrospective for sure. We'll just get through the reviews hopefully, and the couple things I wanted to mention, and that'll be that.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay. All right. I didn't mention this when we were talking about the draft, but if you're interested in playing demos, I know a lot of people would probably want to get their hands on Kina Bridge of Spirits. There's like a Tribeca Games Festival that's going to be going on, and there's going to be demo tickets available to reserve starting on May 24th. The games included in these demos are Harold Halibut, Kina Bridge of Spirits, Lost in Random,
Ooh.
Nor Norco, Sable, Signalis, The Big Con, and 12 Minutes.
Ooh.
Yeah. I saw that the demos are going to be, you'll be able to stream them through a program or an app, whatever it is, called Parsec. I'm not sure if there's going to be like in-person demos or not. I didn't catch that, so I know for sure there's going to be demos to be streamed for the public. So if you want to hop on that and get your demo ticket for Kino or whatever game I listed here, uh, make sure to do that. Dude, I don't know if I want to play a demo of Kina actually thinking about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same. I don't know
yeah,
if I want to.
yeah. I am kind of
I'm
interested
gonna
in
play
this. Wait, what happened?
it.
You want to?
No, no, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. I've heard of this game called Sable from the Easy Allies, really, and I might try to demo that, see if that's good. Okay. Also, I guess I should go over the logistics for E3 2021. It's going to be an all virtual show, as you guys probably figured. And the
Mhm.
details I have are from Christina Alexander from The Gamer. So E3 2021 is going to be an all virtual show. There's going to be an E3 hub that can be accessed through an online portal or through a smartphone app. Participants will be able to visit virtual booths, watch live streams, and participate in events. This is a quote that I have from the article. It says, however, you need to create an account to be able to access the portal and app, as well as an online forum and customization options for your profile. There's also going to be a live E3 broadcast with interactive overlays. So I'm guessing that's going to be stuff that we're not usually interested in. It's kind of going to be like hosts talking about
Mhm.
things that are happening, and I don't usually care about that, but it's good to mention it. And registration for access to E3's online portal and app will be free and it will start later this month if it has not started already. Has if it has not started already. The media will have early access to the portal on June 7th, followed by the general public. The day E3 2021 begins on June 12th. It's pretty interesting stuff. I wonder how enticing it's going to be to just get people who just want to look at the conferences or
Mhm.
those big events to actually participate. But we'll see. We'll see what they do. All right, y'all ready to move on to these reviews?
Yes.
All right.
Let's
So
go.
let's go. Let's go. The first one we're going to do, since we just talked about it the most recently, Resident Evil Village review roundup on the PS5 platform. It has an 84 on Metacritic. I think it's 84. I don't know if I checked it most recently, but it's in the mid 80 range for sure. I'm not gonna say for sure.
Yeah, I think it's around there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna go with 84. That's what I wrote down. And first review. This is from M3. This one they gave it 100. I don't know what I don't know. Maybe I just like what they wrote about it. So M3 they gave it 100 out of 100. Resident Evil Village takes the groundwork from the seventh part and mixes it together with the very best from the previous Resident Evil titles. It enchants and shocks us at the same time, to the point that we become completely addicted to it. A contemporary classic that sets a new standard, just as Resident Evil 4 once did. That's pretty bold. What do you think about that one, Luis? It
I mean, it is bold. What the heck?
is pretty
um,
bold.
um, but yeah, sorry. Like I said, there's a lot of Resident Evil 4 comparisons been made
Hmm.
with this game. Um, but I don't know. I don't know if I would have to see like what they mean when they say it sets a new standard for like a new standard for this type of games. Um,
Yeah.
because I feel like it's stuff that I mean we've seen before, and
Mm-hmm.
I think it's what what I would say it's I think what they did really good is that they went from RE7, which was very similar to like the first few games. Um, I think they did a really good job transitioning from that type of game to a more action uh, based
Right.
game, and it's not it's not too what's it called, like it doesn't really affect you that much. I think they did it really well. Um, but yeah, I don't know about that. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I think they're just too hype about the game.
That might be it. That might be it. All right. So this next one, this comes from the Easy Allies. Michael Huber gave it a 90.
Mm.
Quote: Locations are intricately crafted, as each new room you step into is packed with eye-catching details to investigate. Paranoia easily sets in as you hear enemies lurking in dense foliage and adjacent rooms. Resident Evil Village's imposing environments lay the groundwork for exhilarating action and slow, creeping fear. Exploration and resource management are among the best in the series. A few story elements miss the mark, and Mercenaries is over too quickly, but Village is another remarkable entry in the long running survival horror series. And then I have one more from Game Rant. They gave it an 80 out of 100. Quote: Resident Evil Village doesn't have the most engrossing or satisfying story in Resident Evil history, and its more action oriented approach is likely to disappoint fans that enjoyed RE7's pure horror. However, Resident Evil Village is packed with replay value, rarely has a dull moment, and should leave Resident Evil fans excited for the franchise's future. So we got some story knocks here from the
Mhm.
last two reviews. Um, I don't know. I didn't play it, so I guess that's
Mhm.
the
I
big
mean,
takeaway.
right. Like I said, yeah, like especially when they're talking about like the the connections between this game and like the previous games. It's kind of like you see it like in a piece of paper, you read it, right? And even like the story as well. Sometimes they go over like some details and they don't really explain it that much. Um, like for example, uh, like why did Lady Miranda take Rose, right? Um, which you learn later on, but it's kind of like again you read it like in a piece of paper kind of thing. And so I don't know, like they don't really explain or go into a lot of detail of certain things. Um, yeah, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's not, at least for me, it wasn't that. It didn't really hinder my experience with the game.
Mhm.
But yeah, definitely, I think there are some weak points with the story in this game.
Right. And then I guess the action orientation disappoint is likely to disappoint fans that enjoyed RE7's pure horror from Game Rant. Um, you seem to enjoy it. I don't know if people just like
Right.
have a preference, and it just comes down to that.
Yeah, I think ultimately that's what it is.
Mhm.
And then like the other one, I think I don't know if it was this one that mentioned that like it has fans excited to see what's coming in the franchise. And I
Yeah.
think I think that's definitely true. Again, from me, yeah, I'm really like again, I wanted Marcos to play it so we can talk about like about all these things that we saw. And I think yesterday or 2 days ago we or maybe like last week, I don't know, we started talking about like what could happen in the future, like in RE9, and I don't know, it's really exciting to think about like what's coming up.
Tie. And let's go ahead and fit in Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Well, any final thoughts about Resident Evil before we move on to Mass Effect?
No, I think it's
I
been
mean, I
enough.
have not much to say just because I haven't played the game, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, it's
But
no problem.
I mean, but because Liz pretty much told me the whole story, whole storyline. Um, pretty much what he was talking about right now. He already mentioned to me, um, and I mean it's exciting. And I think I've mentioned this before. Like I haven't actually played the Resident Evil games in a while. Um, I think I think I don't even know if I've played four and five. Anyways, but I'm very interested in the storyline, um, the lore, and it's exciting to see what the franchise is gonna continue to give to the fans.
Yeah. Yeah, I might not be interested in these first person games, but the lore it's always interesting to me just to follow the story. So I get where you're coming from. Okay, Mass Effect Legendary Edition review. This is the PS4 version. It has an 87 on Metacritic, and I have two quotes from two different outlets. The first one is from Hardcore Gamer, and they gave it a 90. They said, the original game has been reworked visually and mechanically to be far more playable in 2021, even though even though it's still less than ideal when it comes to combat. The second and third Mass Effects don't receive as major an enhancement to the quality of life, but what they do receive is visual clarity. The game runs magnificently on current and last generation consoles, not to mention load times are insignificant now, and the graphical touches that have been instituted only help to enhance the experience. There's nothing quite like Mass Effect out there, and having upwards to 300 hours worth of content readily available is an immense value that goes unmatched. So that's 90 out of 100 from Hardcore Gamer. And the last one is from Game Informer that also gave it a 90. Seeing your choices carry over across three games is exciting, but it's also about the squad mates you meet along the way. So become Commander Shepard, rally people to your cause, and make painstakingly difficult choices, and watch others around you grow stronger because of your influence. The sacrifices and rewards will stay in your memory, and the Legendary Edition is a terrific reminder of why all these years later people still can't stop talking about this series. So I try to do a balance there of like the mechanical side and why what people take away from the Mass Effect series. We kind of went over a lot of this. It's what you guys expect, so I don't have much else to say about it.
Yeah, I do have a question. In one of the reviews, it says that the choices you make carry over to the other games. Um, is that like literally? Like if whatever you do on Mass Effect 1, it continues on Mass Effect 2?
Yeah. So anything that's significant enough for it to be touched on in the sequels will your decisions will have a direct impact on the sequel.
Ooh, that's
It's,
cool.
yeah, yeah, it's
Oh,
pretty
okay,
cool.
nice.
The sequels.
That's it.
Yeah, so it is pretty sweet. Um, it's 11:50. We might be able to rank. We'll be able to rank the 2002 games finally. Can sneak that in there.
I know it's been what, like it's been a couple. I think it's been a month. No.
Or longer, I don't know. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Any final comments on the reviews?
No.
Okay, okay. So let's go ahead and do. Let's rank the 2002 games. So we chose five games a while back to rank, in our game that we've been doing for a little while. The games are as follows. So we have Metroid Prime, Resident Evil Remake, The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, Kingdom Hearts, and Splinter Cell. Where shall we
Oof.
start here?
Damn, I don't even know where to start though, because
Yeah. I feel like the Elder Scrolls. I want to say the Elder Scrolls had influences on like BioWare, Mass Effect games, KOTOR, things like that. I'm pretty sure it did. So it's pretty important. But the original
what about Splinter Cell?
Splinter Cell, like that that genre is struggling right now, so it's kind of hard to make a case for it. It's just good espionage, like tactical gameplay, like the cream of the crop of that. I was gonna say the original Elder Scrolls probably had influence as well, but I think Morrowind people hold in really high regard. Like it's people say, oh yeah, that's the best. That's the best Elder Scrolls. So
Hmm.
I think the top one is going to be a discussion between Metroid Prime and RE Remake.
Yeah. Um.
Oof. I would put.
Well, you played both, right, Luis?
Yeah, I play both,
Okay, so what do you
and
think? What do you think about that?
both of them hold a special place in my heart.
Get the tie, the tie.
um, oof. I'd say. I think I put Metro Prime number one. Um,
Metroid Prime One.
mhm. And I think from what I've heard, it, it it's one of the best, first person shooters, and that it really did it really well, and sort of like set a standard for that. Um, but I think about Ario remake, and that game's what it did. I think it really captured it, like it captured the feeling of the original game, and I think it made it better as well. Um,
Mm. I can't watch those cutscenes, bro. They're so cheesy, man.
yeah, they
Like,
can be very cheesy too.
yeah, like I don't want to play the games. Like, I'll just watch the cutscenes. And I think I did watch them, but damn, it was kind of painful. Not gonna lie.
Right. Yeah, like the dialogue is kind of eh, yeah.
But yeah,
But
obviously, I
yeah,
would
I
I would
think I
agree.
put Prime. Go with Prime first.
Prime One.
What do you think, Jose?
Well, I mean, I've never played Metroid Prime. Um. I feel like I don't know. I feel like Resident Evil remake, like it's what a remake is supposed to do, or what it's supposed to look like. Like it's an ideal remake. Um, but I mean, it is a remake, so I don't know if that should dock points to it. Um, Metroid Prime is, I think, one of Nintendo's uh, uh, more mature series, um, and I think it's been able to stand out from the other franchises uh, because of that, I guess. Um, I don't know. I guess I would put Metroid Prime at number one just because Resident Evil remake is a remake.
Mm.
It's not like an original entry. Um, in the franchise. Um, so yeah, I my vote will go to Metroid Prime being number one.
Isn't Metro Prime the first 3D Metroid game as well?
Yeah.
And I mean, being the first one, um, like I think they captured the feeling of Metroid in a 3D uh, environment and setting like really well. I like to talk about how the Metro Prime games like it's kind of scary in a sense. Like when I first played it, because you go into this planet and you're the only one there. It's like you're exploring these areas, and I think that feeling as well. Because Metro Prime was the first game, the first Metro Prime that I played.
Hmm.
Um, Having played that and then going back to the previous games, the Super Nintendo, the Super Metroid, and Metroid Fusion and Zero Mission and all that. Um, like I think they nailed it with Prime, like the feeling of it.
Right.
Um, so having done that like successfully on their first 3D game, I think it's they deserve the recognition.
Yeah, I think you said it well. What's crazy is that Fusion was the same year as Prime, and then Zero Mission was 2 years after Prime, or 2004 rather than 2002. And Prime is just it's just so different and so good compared to those.
Hmm.
It's crazy. 2002. Yeah, I would agree. So I suppose Metroid Prime will take the number one spot, and Resident Evil Remake will take two.
Yes, agree.
Okay, sure, sure. And that leaves the Elder Scrolls 3, Kingdom Hearts, and Splinter Cell. I would
I think
argue.
Splinter Cell. Oh, I'm sorry.
Uh,
Go ahead,
no,
Ray.
you first. You first. You first.
Oh, I'm leaning towards putting Splinter Cell at number five.
Okay.
I don't know about you guys, because compared to the other two, I feel like Splinter Cell doesn't have much of a presence, I guess. Uh, um, right now, I don't know. I don't know
Got
what you
you.
guys think.
Um, I would say that Splinter Cell is between three or four because believe I'm not 100% on this, but I think it should be. I think it's the pinnacle or like the basis of what something like an Assassin's Creed or something like what else is there? Splinter Cell. There's a there's never mind. It's kind of hard for me to formulate an argument on this one. It's really niche, but it just does the best in that niche, basically.
What about you, Luis?
I agree with you. I think Splinter Cell. Yeah, I think like Ray mentioned, it's like it doesn't really like that kind of game right now. It's not um, like we don't see those kinds of games anymore.
Hurts my heart.
Um, I know it sucks, but uh, yeah, I mean, looking at the other games and how those franchises are doing, I think Splinter Cell should go five.
Yeah, the more I think about it, I wanted to make a case because I really like Splinter
Yeah.
Cell, but yeah, it makes sense. So Splinter Cell, we're gonna go ahead and put it at number five then. So that leaves The Elder Scrolls 3 and Kingdom Hearts. Three between three and four.
Okay, let's talk influence. Which ones do you guys think is more influential?
I would say Elder Scrolls 3.
Same.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too.
Yeah.
So I think we all agree.
However, I think Kingdom Hearts. I mean, I don't know what the initial reaction was when they announced
Mm.
this mashup of Final Fantasy and Disney characters. Um, it feels like such a weird, um, like far-fetched idea, and it's worked. Uh, it's beloved by a lot of by many. Um, so I don't know, like based on originality, like based on just I don't know, like
Mm.
how it sets itself apart from anything else, because like you really haven't seen anything like that. um, I think it deserves some recognition for that. I don't know if we're talking about influence. I don't think Kingdom Hearts has influenced other games. Um, just because I feel like Kingdom Hearts itself is inspired by past games, right? Um, but I think its originality is something that you can't ignore. Um, and like I mentioned, I don't think anybody else has done something like that before. I don't know if it'd be possible in the future. Um, so I was thinking putting Kingdom Hearts at number 3 because of that.
Mm.
But I don't know what you guys think. What um, how you guys would prefer the ranking to be?
I can see the argument of just its sheer like pop culture influence that it would be in
Yeah.
three, but I feel like it's not enough to outweigh Morrowind's like wide breadth of influence in like
Mhm.
talking about video games that have
Yeah.
come out.
Right. So okay, so we talked about like influence, right?
Hmm.
Which one? Like, do they hold up? Like, if you play them right now, like the movement and controllers, or like the gameplay, does it hold up?
I feel like they
Like,
both
honestly,
don't
I
really
haven't
hold
played.
up. Oh, go
They
ahead.
both don't really hold up. Yeah, because in my experience, I haven't played either.
Mm,
Um, and
yeah. I can't speak to Elder Scrolls 3. I haven't played it,
mhm.
but Kingdom Hearts is people have problems with the original Kingdom Hearts. People look to like a lot of people look to Kingdom Hearts 2 as the best in the series in a lot of ways.
Okay.
So,
I was gonna ask, is Kingdom Hearts even the best in the franchise?
yeah.
And you just answered that.
Hmm.
After Morrowind, what's the next game?
Oblivion, and then it's Skyrim.
Okay.
So, I guess you can gauge on that. Like if you've seen Skyrim, just like think 2 games prior how janky it could be.
um, I don't know. I kind of I'm starting to think Elder Scrolls should be number 3. Just because I don't know. I think Elder Scrolls in general is just I don't know. Like it's I don't know how to put it into words. Like it's but then Kingdom Hearts is like that too. I don't know. Damn. Um,
I don't I don't remember if we gave a nod to Elder Scrolls before. It's the thing. I don't have the list right. I'm trying to find it.
I don't think we did. Let's get to Elder Scrolls. I feel like we should go to Elder Scrolls. The third spot.
Yeah, I would agree too. I'm trying to see like I don't know if Elder Scrolls 2, like Elder Scrolls 2 or the ones before. Like Elder Scrolls 3 might have been the format to like think of what you know as Elder Scrolls. Like first person view, 3D environment kind of deal. I don't know if that was the first one to do that. If it was, then for sure Elder Scrolls should be 3. So, Are you leaning towards Elder Scrolls 3 as well, Luis?
Yeah, I'm there, and like I tried like thinking about like oh how Kingdom Hearts could be three, but I don't think it's enough. Um, because I don't know.
Yeah, I get you.
Does Kingdom Hearts play a lot like other Final Fantasy games?
Other Final Fantasy games?
Yeah, like for other like Final, like at that time maybe.
2002. So, what was Final Fantasy like? I guess the closest one was 10. 10 was turn-based.
It was turn based, right?
Yeah. Kingdom Hearts is action. More like if you've seen if you've seen like 15, Final Fantasy 15 gameplay, it's more like Kingdom
Hmm.
Hearts.
Right.
But I looked up some Elder Scrolls 2 images. It looks like it was also in 3D as well. It just looked more like a you remember how the old Dooms used to look like the figures and stuff?
Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
It was kind of that. And then Morrowind started to look more like what we know today, just more, you know, more rough. So I don't know, man. I would say I'm gonna say Elder Scrolls 3 because I think there's other
Same.
improvements to the series that it made that really influenced the gaming sphere.
Right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna agree with you.
All right. And Jose, well, it's already two versus three. But Jose, do you think I mean two versus one? But do you agree, Jose?
No, I agree. I agree.
Okay. What's interesting, y'all, is that how I wrote these, how I wrote these titles is how we rank them. So Splinter Cell's number
And
5.
you knew.
Yeah. Kingdom Hearts is number 4. Elder Scrolls 3, number 3. Resident Evil Remake is number 2, and Metroid Prime is number 1. And that ends a, the game that we've been trying to do for a month. Very, very well. A month or so. Okay. Let's go ahead and end the podcast. So we have been Roll Jump Media. We do this podcast. We talk about video games. We talk about what we've been playing. We follow what's going on in the industry, and we talk about the bigger stories. We don't cover everything, but we have fun here. If you would like to follow us, please do so. We are on YouTube. We're also on Spotify and um, iTunes, Apple's podcast service. So if you want to check us out there, you may. We also have an official website and we're on social media. So if you want to look us up, see where we're at, please do so. We'll be happy to have you. Thank you for watching. And before we end the podcast, do my co hosts have anything to say to the audience?
Thank you for tuning in. Um, go play Resident Evil 8.
Thank you guys. Till next time.
Okay. Very well said. See you guys. We'll catch you next time.